Hello, my grade 9 students. Today we'll be working on a lab called Kitchen Chemistry. You will need this handout in front of you. It's called Lab Kitchen Chemistry. So please, if you can, go ahead and print this out. Otherwise, you can work on the Word document that has been posted online. On this document, there are some pre-lab questions that you are to complete before you do this lab. There are materials listed, the procedure, some observation charts to fill in, as well as analysis questions. So let's begin with the materials that we'll be using in this lab. So today we'll be using this. This is called a spot plate or a well plate. It has several indentations on it, almost like a cupcake tray. It allows you to mix chemicals in each well or each spot to prevent cross-contamination, and you can do several mixtures all at the same time, and you can easily observe it because it is transparent, so you can look in all sides. Also, if you put it on a white piece of paper, then you can really see any color changes if there are any. So we'll be working with this well plate. We'll also be working with some beakers and some solids inside. We're going to be using a scupula, which looks like this. A scupula helps to lift just a little bit of solids at once. So we're going to be using that, as well as some dropper bottles for liquids. And these are great because you can just drop 1 or 2 drops at a time. So it's very controlled in terms of putting the quantity of liquid that you want inside your well plate. Okay, so let's begin. So today's kitchen chemistry lab requires you to put different chemicals in each well. So this plate has 12 wells on it, but we'll only be using 9 during this lab. So do please take this time now to pause and read over the procedure, because my job today is just to give you some observations or some data. So please do read over the procedure before you continue this video. Thank you. So you're going to be putting chemicals in row A, chemicals in row B, chemicals in row C, and then you're going to take different chemicals and put them in column 1, column 2, and column 3. So let's start off with horizontal row A. So the instructions say put a little bit of salt, and I mean a little bit of salt, in row A. So row A would be, let's say, the top row, okay, and just the first 3 wells. So I'm going to put just a little bit. When I say a little bit, like I mean maybe this much. It's probably 50 grains of salt, which is not a lot. So I'm going to put it in the first 3 wells in the top row. All right, so that was salt. There we go. So this is row A. Now row B, the instructions say to put starch. So now I'm going to take a beaker of starch, and I'm just going to put a little bit, again, into row B, horizontal row B. Oh, sticking on the scupula. So less is more in this case, because if you fill your well all the way to the top, there won't be any room for the liquid chemicals that we're going to add, but also you probably won't see a reaction because there's just too much stuff in there, and it just is too much for it to react, and you won't see it properly. So less is more. So here's the starch in the second row. Sorry, it's called row B. Now row C, we are going to be using baking soda. So here is my beaker of baking soda, and I'm going to use my scupula to lift the baking soda just a little bit, like that, and put it in the bottom horizontal row C. All right. So there you go. All right. So one of the questions that you're going to, or one of the charts that you're going to fill are observations of physical properties of these materials. So make sure you take the time now, and you can pause to describe the qualitative observations of these three powders. So I'll give you a second now, and you can pause it if you want to take a look at it. All right. So now that you've completed the pre-reaction qualitative observations for salt, starch, and baking soda, we're now going to put the liquids in. So to complete the rest of this observation chart, I'll show it to you so you know what it looks like. So vinegar looks like this. So make your observations. Iodine solution looks like this. So go ahead and make your observations on the chart. And water looks like this. Surprising. So you should by now have your observation chart complete for the pre-reaction materials. Now we're going to actually do the reaction. So if we go back to the instructions, it'll tell us exactly what to put in each vertical column now. So we have vertical column 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to try to think backwards so that it'll look the same for you guys, okay? So we are looking at column 1 now. Column 1 is vinegar. So I'm going to go ahead and put vinegar into column 1, okay? So it says just a few drops, so 2 or 3. So I'm going to put 2 or 3 drops in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can make your observations now. All right. I'll also do a screenshot. I'll show you a screenshot later of the top view of this. Now we're going to use iodine in vertical column 2. So iodine solution in vertical column 2. All right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm just gonna, maybe I need a little bit more liquid here, just to cover all the powder. All right. Again, at the end of the video, I'll show a view of the top of this well plate so you can see the observations very clearly. Last one is water in vertical column 3, which is this one. So water. All right, mix it around, and there we go. And that was our kitchen lab. So again, please wait till the end of the video and I'll share a picture of what the top of the wells look like so you can have a good view of that. So your job now is to complete the qualitative observations for these reactions, which is table number 2. Once you complete that, then please do the discussion and analysis questions on the 3rd page. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, have a great day.